Alright, here's what we're gonna do. To get up on top of the roof of my Xterra here, it's kind of difficult to climb up. The seat right here just isn't tall enough. This seems to be a good step, but the problem is it ain't a good step. I've seen some kits to create a step. There's a nice little step back here, so you can get to the back. There's a nice step on the tire, but there's not a nice step a little higher. I didn't mean to rhyme. We're gonna hollow that out so that way it'll fit on and slip, and I've got this little foot to kind of take up the gap between this bracket and the body of the car, and then I got some non-stick tape we're going to put on it. So that's our project for today. All right, here's a update. I've got a 23 64ths drill bit right here, and I determined that because I thought a 3/8 would be a little too big, and I like my 3/8 and I didn't want to wear it. I hardly use a 23 64, so that's what we're going to do. Fits right in between the lines I want. And I'm going to drill a hole here, 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 and here, and then we'll use the jigsaw to hollow out the stuff in the middle. For now, I'll open this thing up so y'all can watch. As you can see, some of my holes kind of walked a little bit despite the center punch, and that's likely due to combination of the setup I've got here and then how long this drill bit is. It walked a little bit. It's gonna be okay. I'm pretty sure. And if it's not, I just won't use it. All right, let me set it up to cut out the jigsaw. Well, before cleaning everything up, I'm pretty happy with how that cut. I used a brand new Diablo blade, not sponsored or anything, but I like to buy quality blades when I can. Let's just go check the fit on that before I run a file through it to clean everything up. Put that guy on there. Yeah. It sits pretty level like that, but I want to put that little thing on there. Just I don't want to put a dent in my sheet metal there, but I suppose that's going to work. I can already see it's kind of flexing a little bit. Oh, that's not so bad. Let's not put too much time into this project. Let's just do what we got. I'm going to use my mill file and then a little deburring tool on a drill to clean this up. Alright, well that's beating my hand all up. Let's just use this mill file. Alright, if anyone's going to bark at me about running a file backwards, check out Fireball Tool where they did a test about running files backwards. Alright, let's go check it out. Alright, after cleanup, I think it goes in there pretty good. It kind of pulls out away. The latch bar here, that's what I'm going to call it, is elongated. And if I measure it, it's elongated, 30 seconds. No way, I'm not doing that. Well, it is elongated 7/16 of an inch. And what I think I'm going to do is drill and tap and put like a socket head screw that's 3/8 of an inch, so that way it takes up some of that gap, but it still allows this thing to go in. So what we'll do is we'll drill and tap a hole right here. We'll find which screw has a 3/8 inch tall head. Here's what I found. All right, so this is set to 3/8. This is a 3/8/16 screw, and it would fit perfectly right there. It's about the size it's exactly the size I need. The problem is I don't have a 3/8/16 tap. So because we work within the bounds of what we got on this channel, we're going to use a 5/16 and a washer. And a 5/16 and a washer, I don't know if you believe it or not, but it's the same size. And more importantly, I've got the 5/16 18 tap. The other problem I ran into was my handy dandy chart right here says I need a letter F drill to drill my 5/16 18 tap hole. Well, I ain't got an F, so we're going to use a 1/4 inch, and it'll just have to be a little tight. It's going to work, I promise. Once we get that hole drilled and everything tapped, we'll cut off this end flush after it's screwed in there, or before we cut it, and as we screw it in, we'll put red Loctite so this guy don't come out no more. And we're going to put it right there. Right there. All right, let's tap this hole. So before I do that, I'm going to use this step drill just to put a little chamfer on that hole right there to make it easier to start, especially since I'm using a smaller drill bit. And by smaller drill bit, I mean like 3.5 thousandths on either side. Yeah, 3.5 thousandths on either side, which, shoot, I think a human hair or a piece of paper is about the I think a piece of paper is between 2 and 3 thousandths, and then a human hair is about that as well. So I'm not undersizing it by much, so this shouldn't hurt. I'll hold this guy. All right, back to the task at hand before I was so wildly interrupted by them heathen kids of mine. Gonna go get the start cut. She's cutting pretty good, actually. I always use a little bit of cutting fluid. 3-in-1 ain't exactly cutting fluid, but it'll work. I'm gonna move you a little closer, and hopefully the microphone will pick this up. I'm gonna be quiet. Did you hear that little crunch or crackle? And then we're going to cut the chip. Bam. Crunch or crackle, cut the chip. And once you're through good enough, you can pretty much just keep going. This is not necessary, but I brush my chips off at the bottom so I don't drag them back through that hole. And something this size, you could probably get away with using like a small impact or a drill, but I like to do this by hand because I have a few taps, but not very many, and they're pretty expensive to buy for me. This one is well, I don't have a name on it, but it's a good tap. It's good tap. This is my Poland center drill. There we go. Just to put a little chamfer on that edge. Just a little chamfer. Alright, it pays to have your own little hardware store, because I found one that's much thinner. Put this guy in there like so. Let's cut that end off. I'm gonna do it like that. And hacksaw will just be quick enough. I really should buy 18-inch blades. Take my file. Alright, let's go check this fit. Well, did what I wanted it to do. Well, let's get the rest of what I want to do done. Take the best tool in the shop, claw hammer. Make a little indent. And make one more. And make one more. And make one more. Might as well round it out. Good things come in groups of 4. Sort of. Impressed all that, so that shouldn't move now. So now we're going to put this on there like that. Tighten this bad boy. Take this bad Larry here. It's probably as tight as she needs to be. And then sand this just a little bit.
Something more to stick to.
Hot dog, I like that. I think I got something for that too. Just use some Gorilla Tape on this side, and we'll pretend that's what it was supposed to be all along. And I'll tell all my friends, well, I put that on there because it was an insulator. And they'll be like, wow, you're so smart. But we'll it'll be our little secret. All right. Let's go try it out. Cool. It's big enough. Put my inside of my foot and ride it down. My foot will find it. Well, there you have it. A few basic hand tools. Well, maybe not so basic. And a bunch of junk lying around. You make a footstool that you can probably buy off Amazon for $15, but we spent an hour making it. All right. Thanks for watching. If you like this nonsense and want to watch more of it, just please subscribe to my channel at Blue Collar Compendium.